have with film photography. Love it. Biggest fan. But it is so expensive. Like deadly expensive. If you buy a disposable camera, they're normally $10 to $15, and then it takes another $10 to $15 to get it developed. So that's like $30, and it only comes with 27 pictures, so that's like $1 a picture. And most times none of my pictures turn out because it doesn't show you what it's gonna look like before it prints. Obviously, if you choose to buy a film camera, you gotta purchase it. They're like $30 to $300. Like this on my $300 film camera. Yeah. Then you gotta buy the film for it, which is another $10. Then you gotta develop it, which is another $10 to $15. So obviously, it's one of the more expensive photography options, but the photos from it are incredible. When people really master film, it's gorgeous. So I've tried to work and figure out a way to get film pictures without a film camera. So today we're gonna be diving into that. We're gonna be talking about different ways that you can get that sort of like film retro vintage look without needing a film camera to take it on, because like I said, it's hard because it is expensive and a lot of the times the pictures don't turn out the way you're wanting. These are some examples. Really good. So this is another option. Let's go. The first option is just about editing. And this is when you just turn your normal iPhone picture into a disposable looking picture all through the way you mess around with the colors. I made a whole video about this a while ago, so I'll link that down below if you guys want to watch it. Basically, I downloaded the app Lightroom and I created this preset on it, which like you can really easily do. You just download the app and then you just mess around with the settings and then you just save it super easily. I'll go through it though. But the main thing about color editing when you're wanting a film picture is literally just to make sure it has like a green tint to it. All film pictures seem to have this like greenish overlay and grain, and those two things together almost make any picture able to look like it was taken on a film camera. And by film camera, I'm kind of talking about a disposable kind of film look. When you get into like higher priced film cameras, the color on it is just like unmatched. So this is definitely more for like the disposable look. So first I go on the app Lightroom. As you can see, I already have like a lot of presets that I created, which were basically just like settings that I made and I liked, so I saved them. But every time I use my own preset, usually depending on the picture, I have to edit it a little bit because it's not gonna be perfect for every single picture, so I have to like tweak it. But if you want to create a preset like this for yourself, the main thing you would do is mess around with the tint to get it the right amount of green and purple. I mess around a lot with like the highlights and the shadows and the exposure and all that, and that all depends on like what picture it is. But the main thing that's important is just to mess around with the curvature of the photo, and this will increase the greens, the reds, and you guys can see obviously on the screen how I do it. But this will definitely is the part in the photo that will change it the most, if that makes sense. Other than that, a lot of the times I'll tweak the colors too to make sure it's the right amount of like saturation but also dull. And of course we got to add the grain, and I'm hoping that through the video you guys can see exactly like how I do it, because I don't want to just like verbally spit out a bunch of stuff and it like not make sense. So hopefully through the videos you guys can see and you can recreate it for yourself. But I'll definitely link the video where I explain it more in depth. If this is too hard for you and for some reason you're like, I don't want to spend all this time editing, I just want like a quick and easy edit, another great option is just to download an app that does it for you. So there's an app called Cam, which I've talked about before, and it has like a ton of different like camera options. It can like turn your picture into a Polaroid, but it also has a kind of disposable camera look to it, and it's super cool, works really well, I love it, and it's really just like an easy overlay, gets the job done. And I think if you even put a little bit more of a green tint on it, it would even give it that more film camera effect. Now, those two options are great, but recently that's not what I have been doing. I think that taking a picture on your phone or your camera and then changing it and editing it is a great way. It definitely gives you that look, but I feel like for a more authentic look, what I've been doing is I just purchased some old digital cameras. This is a Kodak EasyShare. I got it from eBay. I've had this for probably 5 years, this like brand of camera. I had one and then I dropped it in water, or my sister dropped it in water actually. So I had to get another one, but it's literally $20 on Amazon. It takes I think AA batteries and a 1 gigabyte card. But this is a great way to get like vintage looking pictures, but you can actually see the result of them. And it has flash, love that. It even has like a cool timestamp thing if you want to leave that on, but usually I don't. But I'm just in love with this camera because it gets that perfect vintage effect. It has a zoom in, zoom out, you can video on it. I just feel like it's so much better than a disposable camera if you're wanting that look and not having to spend that much money. When I take pictures on here, to make it look disposable, literally all I do is put a green tint on it. It already has grain because it's an old camera. It's like my baby. I'm in love with it. I also got this one from Goodwill. Still has a tag on it. And this one is like even a level up. Like it gives my pictures that level up of like a film camera effect. It's beautiful. I love it so much. It's a Minoletta camera, which I've used before as a film camera. Super good. I'm trying to figure out the brand. I mean like the model of it. I think the only problem with this camera is that it takes 4 batteries instead of 2, so I never get around to purchasing batteries. But this camera is incredible. Like I said, I got this on Goodwill. At Goodwill, it was $7, and it is another one of my babies. It is a dream camera. So that is kind of how I get this whole film camera look vibe. I wanted to make this video because I feel like disposable cameras are like an experience, and I feel like that's why a lot of people buy them. Like when I go on a trip and stuff and I don't want to like feel like I'm gonna lose my really expensive camera, I'll always just bring something like this, just because if I lose it, it's not a super big deal, but at the same time it will give me cool pictures most likely. That will be more cost efficient and still give you those really cool pictures. Another weird camera tip thing is that if you want like old photos, what I did recently was I bought an iPhone 4 from eBay. Again, it was like $20, and the pictures on it, incredible. So nostalgic, love them, very vibey, and I feel like it's just super fun to have something like that because they're super easy to just like slip in your purse, like just your old iPhone. It is weird how tiny it feels. I wasn't expecting that, but I love it, and that's another good option to get a nostalgia old picture vibe. I hope you guys enjoyed that little video. It was super quick, and I feel like it wasn't incredibly helpful, but I just wanted to share it in case people don't know these tips already. Basically with any picture, add a green tint, add some grain, you're pretty much good to go. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.